Hey y'all, how are you? Welcome back. Jackson M. Haskell here. So the video coming after. Um, this on November 10th, we're talking about Unfinished Business Update, November 2025 edition, which is great. And I have this video coming on the 10th, 9th, sorry, which I'm filming right now. We're talking about X-Men Evolution Season 2, which is good. Season 3, I'm pleased to announce, will be on November 16th. Um, which is great. And here we go. X-Men Evolution. Um, Season 2 consists of 17 episodes and from September 29th, 2001 to May 11th, 2002. And it's the longest season of episodes, which is great. I like it. But yeah, first episode, Season 2, is Growing Pains, directed by Frank Power, who we talked about last time, but he worked on X-Men stuff and DC stuff. Mostly DCAU stuff. And it was written by Cindy Clark and Steve Granat, which is great. September 29th, 2001. Sorry. The Brotherhood minus Mystique. Kate crashed a girls' championship soccer game in which Jean's team is taking part and is threatening to expose Mutant to the world. This is the first appearance of New Mutants, including Iceman, Cannonball, Heroes, Magma, Jubilee, a huge hero, Berserker, Sunspot, another hero, Boom Boom, Wolfsbane, and Multiple Man. The DVD has the scene where Avalanche shapes Shadowcat from a falling statue, which is cool. Next one is going to be Power Surge, directed by Gary Graham, who also starred in season 1. He also created Alienation, where he played Matthew Sykes in Alienation, a TV show. And stories by Greg Johnson and teleplays by Doug Molitor, who is a TV screenwriter. October 13th, 2001. Jean Grey suddenly loses control of both her strong telepathic and telekinetic abilities, and the only to stop her psychonic abilities from going further is Rogue from Haywire. Is Rogue a hero? Bada Bing, Bada Boom is next. Directed by Stephen E. Gordon, who worked with Ralph Bakshi on this. He directed the most episodes of them all, which is cool. Written by Greg Johnson. October 6, 2001. Boom Boom romantically flirts with Nightcrawler and when he gets a visit from her criminal father, wants her to commit a crime for him. Next up is Fun and Games, directed by Frank Power, written by Brian Swedlund, which is cool. October 20th, 2001, when Professor X has to mend Juggernaut's stasis cell, younger X-Men trick Cyclops and Jean Grey into leaving the mansion in order to have a party. And this is the first appearance of Arcade, who is considered a villain. Yeah. Next up is Beast of Babel, directed by Gary Graham, written by Frank William Forrest Clevervius. October 27th, 2001. Dr. Hank McCoy has no strength left to feed his bestial mutation, which forces him to be a violent, angry beast. Introduction Beast mutant form, which is cool. And Beast is Hank McCoy. A hero. Number 6 is going to be Adrift, directed by Stephen E. Gordon and written by Greg Johnson, November 3rd, 2001. Alex gets caught in a riptide while surfing using a surfboard webcam. Scott goes out to rescue him, but a huge storm threatens both their lives, and Alex is brother of Scott, known as Havoc. He first appeared in the first season. But yeah. African Storm is next, directed by Gary Graham. Written by Nick DuBois. November 17, 2001. Storm is tormented by Hung Gun, an evil African shaman who wants to steal her abilities and use them to take over Africa. Number 8 is going to be Joyride, directed by Stephen E. Gordon, written by Cindy Clark and Stephen Granat. December 1st, 2001. Haviland wants to join the X-Men in order to be closer to Kitty Pryde. However, he has trouble fitting in, and after antagonizing Scott, becomes a prime suspect for several recent joyrides committed by some cocky new mutants. Next up is On Angel's Wing. Directed by Frank Power, written by Boyd Kirkland. Boyd Kirkland worked on the DCAU stuff, mostly Batman animated series, where he created some of the most iconic episodes, like Feet of Clay is one of his, I'm pretty sure. December 15th, 2001. During Christmas time, a mysterious angel is saving lives. Rogue and Cyclops track down Warren Worthington, who is deeply unsure about his mutations. And this is the first appearance of Angel Warren Worthington III, who is a superhero. Next up is Mindbender, directed by Stephen E. Gordon, written by stories by Greg Johnson, teleplays by Bob Ford worked on a lot. He was a key part in the first season. So Greg Johnson. He directed episodes. Both writers, both working for Marvel still, I believe. January 26, 2002. A brainwashed hypnotist named Mesmerto kidnaps some of the X-Men. Jean Grey, Spike, Nightcrawler, and Kitty Pryde, and brainwashes them into committing crimes for him. This is the first appearance of Mesmerto, who is a vision, and it's foreshadowing of Apocalypse and opening his first gate. And Apocalypse is a big bad villain. One of the first mutants, too. Yeah. Next up is going to be Shadow Dance, directed by Boyd Kirkland, ran by Boyd Kirkland, directed and ran by Boyd Kirkland. February 2nd, 2002. And the Bayville High Sadie Hawkins dance arrives, and everyone is scrambling for dates. While this is going on, Warren constructs a device for the greater strength, backed by Nightcrawler's teleporting abilities to the point where he teleports across much longer and greater distances. Or the demonic forces he encounters while passing through separate. Anthony, during the teleporting, manages to escape through an open portal that Nightcrawler leaves behind. This is a first appearance of Amanda Sefton, later known as Magic, or Day Tripper, and she's a former foster sister and former lover of has a big relationship with Nightcrawler, and she's played by Monica Sori, which is cool. Retreat is next, directed by Frank Power, written by Michael Marton. February 16th, 2002. In order to help with the precipice of the slump, Kitty arranges a field trip with younger X-Men, Spike, Sunspot, Wolfsbane, Iceman. However, hunters catch Peace, thinking he'd be Bigfoot. Next up is going to be Walking the Wild Side, directed by Frank Power, stories by Greg Johnson, and teleplays by Cindy Clark and Steve Granat. March 2nd, 2002. The female X-Men are fed up with playing a second fiddle and form a vigilante crime fighting scene called Bayville Sirens. Operation Rebirth, next directed by Gary Graham, stories by Boyd Kirkland, Greg Johnson, and teleplays by Bob Forward. March 30th, 2002. Nick Fury, head of S.H.I.E.L.D., informs Wolverine that Magneto has stolen his once he creates a super soldier Captain America. Wolverine, Rogan, like Chronicler to Recover, and first guest appearance by Captain America, Steve Rogers, which is cool. And I have 3 more to go. This one's Hex Factor, directed by Gary Graham, written by Sidney Clark and Steve Granat. April 20th, 2002, Mystique returns to the Brotherhood with Sable, immensely strong and powerful mutant named Wanda Maximoff, much to the horror of her brother Pietro. Pedro Quicksilver appeared in the first season. Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch later on. Yeah, first appearance of Scarlet Witch is Agatha Harkness. Agatha Harkness is the original witch from the Salem Witch Trials, which is cool. Days of Reckoning, Part 1, directed by Gary Graham, Stephen E. Gordon, and Frank Power. Stories by Greg Johnson, Boyd Kirkland, and televised by Sidney Clark and Stephen Granat. Sorry. May 11th, 2002. Anti-mutant activist Bolivar Trask, Big Bad, abducts Wolverine and shoots him to his invention, Sentinels. Meanwhile, Magneto wants to provoke all wars in humans and use some of his acolytes to create mayhem, which is cool. Bolivar Trask, Big Bad, supervillain, Sentinels. Yeah, father of Madame Sanctify and Larry Trask, too. First appearance was Acolytes, Gambit, Pyro, Colossus. Colossus and Gambit are normally known as heroes, but yeah. Sentinels and Bolivar Trask. Last episode here will be Days of Reckoning Part 2, directed by Gary Graham, Stephen E. Gordon, and Frank Power. Stories by Greg Johnson and Boyd Kirkland. Television by Sidney Clark and Stephen Granat. May 11, 2002, the X-Men are shocked when Professor X teams up with Brotherhood to stop Magneto, but a shocking twist revealed that nothing was as it seemed, which is interesting. But yeah. Yeah, that's really it. It's cool. Um, yeah. That's it for this season. Like I said, the video coming after this on November 10th. Sorry, we're talking unfinished business. Update November 2025, which is great. And season 3 of X-Men Evolution will be on November 16th. Yeah, November 16th, 2025. There's 2 seasons to go. Season 3 consists of 13 episodes. And I hope you guys enjoy. Sorry about the coughing. Yeah. And thank you so much, and have a great and wonderful day. Bye-bye.